Jamar.
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is Jamar here once again. Hey y'all, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar here once again. I know this video was late, but I'm still trying to get used to this new work schedule. It's a little bit crazy, and so I have to try to find time to sleep. But I'm still trying to get these things out no matter how long it takes me to do it. And mind you, even today, I'm a little bit under the weather right now. I got a little bit of a sore throat. But we're going to push through. It's not as bad enough to where I can't talk, goddammit. So we're here to talk about love and hip-hop. And this was the messy episode. Well, every episode. I don't even know why I just said that. Like, every episode ain't messy. But this one in particular is actually part one of the messiness. Part two is going to be next week. Which, it's stereotypical mess, but I was entertained nonetheless, and I'm almost ashamed to say that. Oh well. So, we're not going to go necessarily scene by scene. I tried to group everybody together, so I'm going to have to necessarily hop back and forth. So, I want to start off with Cisco meeting with Moniece and Nia to talk about Teairra drinking. At least they did apologize for, like, coming at him off the gate with, like, guns a-blazing. Because they did do a whole lot. And I kind of did feel like, well, Teairra, like, you know, this is my man. Why are you just coming at him, you know, hard like this? Like, what's the tea? So, they apologize. They're trying to say that they want to bring Teairra into a, what do you call it? I'm trying to think like a mental institution. That's not what it is. Rehab. That's what it is. So they want to take her to rehab, and Cisco, I mean, he wants to help and be supportive of Teairra, you know, any way that he can, but he's not necessarily sold so much on the rehab idea. So he goes to meet with Teairra, and she's a little bit off, okay? And he says that she's kind of been off since they've been back in LA. Like when she was in New York, she was a whole different person. She was fun, she was lively, she was all of these great and fantastic things. But then she gets here and she becomes a drunken mess. And he's like, why does this happen here but not here? You know what I'm saying? Is there something triggering you? Is there something about the people that you're around? Is it your friends? Because I really don't even think that her friends are encouraging her to drink, honestly. So I'm not sure what component or variable is different between LA and New York.
It's 8 o'clock.
Oh, shit. Anywho, I guess she's kind of feeling defensive because he's, you know, he mentions that you're a little bit different, you've acted a little bit crazy. And Teairra's like, well, I would rather, you know, instead of talking to you about my problems and even though you want to be here, I'd just rather talk to a bottle. And he's just like, for real. Like, I'm trying to be here for you. I'm trying to be, you know, that one person you can count on. And you gonna say this dumb shit to me? You know? But, I mean, I get it. I felt like, you know, eventually she kind of was understanding where he was coming from because she was like, you know, I've been single for so long and, you know, I want to be with somebody, but I just don't know. I feel like I may have forgotten how, which is very common because when people are, you know, single for so long, like myself, you know, we don't always know how to, like, jump back into the game the right way. Because I feel like it changes every, like, 2 to 3 years. Like, there's all new rules, okay? So she's kind of like one of them, I'm going to push them away before they hurt me type situation. That's at least the tea that I'm getting from it. But she opens up. They go to this little detox station. She, you know, instead of taking her to rehab, he's just going to, like, hydrate her body and cleanse her body of all the toxins, which should be better, if not the same, as going to rehab for however many weeks. So, shout out to Teairra for trying to get her shit together. Next, we're going to talk about the inevitable hooking up of Boobie and Brooke Valentine. So, as we remember, Marcus pulled a stunt, and Brooke Valentine pulled an even bigger stunt, and got him to break up with his side piece, and then thought that he was about to go off into the sunset with her, and she was like, me and you are over, peace out. So, now she goes to meet with the one man who understands her, the one man who never let her down, the one man who's been with her since childhood. We've been homies since childhood. Listen, those are usually your soulmates. If somebody knows you for like since you were prepubescent, and y'all cool. Y'all grew up. Y'all sort of dated each other people, but still never necessarily let go of one another. And every time y'all have issues with your significant other, y'all always come to each other, and y'all see how they look at each other. Y'all gonna screw. You're going to bump at least. Well, you already have. Who are we kidding? Who are we kidding? They've already done it. But they're talking about, what Marcus has done. He's saying that he, doesn't know what he has right in front of her. He doesn't understand what good that he has and all this stuff. And she's just like, oh, he said all the right things, this, that, and the fourth. Girl, all right. All right, Brooke. I see what you're doing, girl. I see what you're doing. And he mentioned this song that he wants her to be on, and she starts singing. I'm really mad at Brooke now because I just thought she was a ratchet, one of the new ratchets of 10, 12, 15 years ago. When did Girl Fight come out? I was when Girl Fight came out like when I was a freshman in high school. And that was 2004. Damn. That's 13 years ago. But I wish she had did, put some more vocal into her projects. Or maybe she did and I just didn't get it. Maybe I didn't listen to it. Maybe I got to go look on Apple Music to see what Brooke Valentine got out there. But she sounds amazing. She's a beautiful girl. So they start saying, we're going to book a studio time together to make not Booby, but what's the boy name? Marcus jealous. So I'm just like, are you sure that's the only reason you want to go and book that gig? I'm just saying because y'all saw it. We ain't even got to point out the obvious. We ain't even got to do it. So Marcus tries to make everything better by bringing her to this house in the hills with champagne, a pool, this view, all this other stuff, and roses, saying how much he's apologized, how he's trying to make things right, this, that, and the four. And see, here's the thing. And then Brooke, of course, was like, I ain't really with it because I feel like you embarrassed me and you played me for X number of months or however long they've been together saying you've been divorced when you really haven't. And she was like, even if I did have panties on, you'd be the last person I'd take them off for. So she showed up with panties. She put that extra little dab of pettiness and sprinkled it over the situation. Because she knew that he brought her up there at, what she call it, Old Dark 30 or something crazy. And to this house in the hills, it's nighttime with champagne, the pool, this view. Y'all was about to do a little something like this. That's what he was expecting. He was expecting to be able to apologize and get the cookie. But she wouldn't about to let it be that like that, so easily. And I don't understand why dudes feel like they could screw up. Like they could do some of the most heinous stuff to you and feel like if I take her out, if I buy her this, if I say these words in this sequence, then she should understand that I deserve the vagina. Like, even though you screwed her over in a horrific way and embarrassed her to where she had to basically handle the situation, yet you feel like spending money should clear all that up. And a lot of dudes think like that. And it's so crazy. I'm like, y'all just feel like y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. And then just like when you mess up, spend coins, everything will be all right. That's not how this works. So she mentions that, oh, well, you have a good night. I'm going to I have a studio session with Booby tonight. And he's like, so you about to go to a studio session with Booby tonight with no panties on? Oh, okay. I see where this is going. Marcus goes to meet with his boys out to play pool with A1 and Lucci. Solo Lucci. Mm-hmm. So they go out to meet pool and he's talking about the whole situation that just happened. And he's like, now, Marcus actually, I commend him for this one confessional lie. Because even though you can tell he's a little bit mad, just a little mad, he said, if Brooke and Booby want to go to the studio and make this song that nobody's going to hear, that's fine. Because y'all know, these people in these love and hip-hops, they be going to the studio forever. They be staying in the studios for weeks. None of it ever comes out. You might see 2 or 3 at most. Other than that, that songs ain't coming out. Whatever sample we hear could be from anywhere. So he's actually kind of right with that. Whatever music that they do come out, I'm sure we won't hear it. Not for real, for real. So that was kind of funny. But he was saying that, this whole jealous thing doesn't work and it's not really suiting you and this, that, and forth. Whatever, Marcus. You know you mad. You know you mad. And you trying to put this front up for your boys, but you know you mad. And A1 talks about how he wants to do this, he has a meeting with Keyshia Cole to work on her album. But of course, not Nia, what's that girl name? Lyrica is tripping about girls not even working with other females at the label. And I understand where she's coming from to a certain degree, but at the same time, excuse me, this is Keyshia Cole. And if you want to have a continuous money flow into our household, I have to work with artists, I have to sign artists, they have to work for me. In order for artists to work for me, I just can't always have the same kind of rappers. I have to have, a variety. You know what I'm saying? But Lyrica being petty. I'm gonna talk about Alexis Skyy situation real quick, because that's gonna be really quick. She thought she was pregnant. Thank God she's not, because that would have been a mess. Because apparently they've only been together like 2-3 months, and she's like, I don't really want to have a baby by this man. And he already got some crazy baby mama who be stalking her on Instagram. And then all of it, see, Mona, you're lazy. You're very lazy. So you mean to tell me Alexis was doing this shoot with Nicki, who knows where? I'm pretty sure this shoot was not publicized or whatever. But here comes Sarah, the Solo Lucci's ex, crazy baby mama, bursts into a photo set, no security, and talks about, like, what's she doing here? Alexis says, well, what is she doing here? And she pops up in the mouth, what were you doing fucking my baby daddy, bitch? And I'm like, first of all, this is, I would imagine, a closed set that is monitored by, I would at least a few security guards. Second of all, Alexis Skyy says this girl flew from Atlanta 5 hours to LA just to find her and ask her why she was having sex with a man who wasn't with her at the time, but she's claiming that she was. And Alexis Skyy is telling me, well, if you were, you didn't take that up with him because he said he wasn't with nobody. And that's been a common thing that women, well, men do it too sometimes, but women will always go after the other woman first, when more than likely, especially if this is a girl that you don't know personally, more than likely your man is telling this woman that he is with nobody, so she feels like she's free reign. Now, if you know this girl and you've been around her and she knows who you are and who your couple is, and then you find out that she's messing with your man, then you can go after her. Still go after him too, but you can go after her because she knew. But if this is some other girl that you just don't know who she is and you checking up on her, she's like, I don't even know who you were. And y'all weren't together as far as what I knew, so you need to be hitting up with Solo Lucci man, whatever his name is. And I'm like, okay, Mona, so you really, this girl just happened to know where the shoot is at this specific time when they happen to be talking about her from 5 hours away. Oh, Mona, you could have at least had her like come in town to visit her mama or something. Just to do that. Just to do that. We better see her again, because if that's the case, if she just came in for that one scene to act a fool for 10 minutes and she flew 5 hours, I'd be pissed. Or I hope she got paid well or something. Shoot. Anywho, let's get to the messiest side of this particular episode. And the part that still I'm torn about because of the representation of the specific group of people. Mr. Ray and Masika are getting their toes done, it looks like. And they're basically starting out how we saw Zell Swag start out. They're talking about Hazel E, calling her Nasal E or some other stuff. And then they talk about Zell, and of course he throws some shady comments about Zell, and she mentions how she's not really feeling how, Zell's been acting lately, meaning fraternizing with the enemy, as she says. But, and I don't remember if I mentioned this before, but I mean, I understand that she doesn't feel like, I guess Zell should be communicating, but it's not like they're conspiring against her. She met with her to see what the situation was with Masika, and then he went back to Masika to explain what it was, and he was telling what I had to go through in your name, okay? And I'm like, look, I'm not about to be a human shield for your drama, but she's no one to hear. So I can understand why there could be friction between the two of them, but they're talking about each other. Then Keyshia Cole meets with Zell, and he tells them about the whole Masika drama. But here's what I've liked about Keyshia Cole so far. We're 4 episodes in, right? Yeah. We're 4 episodes in, and thus far, Keyshia hasn't done with the foolishness. She hasn't thrown a drink at anybody. Nobody's thrown a drink at her. Her voice hasn't been raised. So far, she's handling this situation or this opportunity with the most maturity on the whole cast. And even when Zell said was trying to tell her about the whole drama with Masika and them, she was like, yeah, sure. And the confessional was like, I love Zell, but sometimes he be doing a lot. He be doing the most. So I'm liking to see Keyshia in this particular light. Now, where I feel like things may go left just a little bit is next week when she's into the studio with Lyrica and A1 and that whole drama pursues itself. I didn't see Keyshia in the scene, so hopefully she just kind of like doesn't bother with the nonsense. But I'm liking to see Keyshia so far. Keyshia meets with A1 to talk about her 11/11 reset, how he can, do all these things with her voice. She's looking for an up-tempo song on her album, to finish it, which I hope we actually see, because I did like that You song that Keyshia came out with a few months ago. But, I mean, it's time to hit the ground running again, girl. Like, we need something else. You feel me? Where are we at? Anything else about that album? No. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if I've said this before. My memory is bad. How A1 is like, look, if Keyshia Cole calls, it would be stupid of me not to work with her because of her branding, her name, and whatnot. So Lyrica's just gonna have to deal because this is coin, this is money, this is dollars. Okay, so if she gonna have to fill it now, well, we'll talk about where he went wrong next week. So we get to this event that Masika wants to throw for her makeup line, which we know doesn't really exist. And Moniece and Zell show up, and Masika walks over to Moniece, and it's like, hey girl, kisses, mwah mwah, and goes over to Zell like, hey girl, one of them like, hey, but I don't really fuck with you like that, but I'm gonna sit here and introduce, and speak to you just because it's cordial. There was that situation. And he's like, oh, no kisses for me? He's like, well, you haven't been the most loyal friend thus far because of, your tomfoolery with the devil. But, I'm gonna take my real friend. And he was like, oh, real friend? And honestly, he was like, look, if you just go sit here and diss me, why did you even bother to invite me? So now this is basically just activated Zell's petty mode. Because now Mr. Ray starts talking. This fool starts talking about, oh, you make me sleepy. He started laying out on the damn display table with the little lipsticks and whatever. And Zell said he's trying to make this seem like this is some grand event when really it did kind of look like just like an upstairs little loft. And the only display of makeup was like a few pencils and lipsticks on a tablecloth. Unless I missed it, but Zell did kind of have a point. However, he was petty because he even got on top of the thing and was doing all this laying out, acting like he's sleepy. Now, this is where, what's his name? Mr. Ray made a decision. He could have continued on with the event and ignored Zellswag and made him feel small, or he could have gotten on Zellswag's level and been petty right along with him. Guess which choice that Mr. Ray chose? Option B. He was like, look, you're a display animal. You belong in the zoo. Look at you. You're on display. You borrow your boss's clothes, this, that, and the fourth. You're ugly. You're this. You're nothing. You're a fraud. Like, he was going on and on and on. And Zell hopped off that thing like a damn gorilla. I was like, look, I would have been a little bit intimidated. The big old Zellswag hopped off there and was like, whoa. I'm just saying. And I thought that Masika would be more upset with Zell. However, because Mr. Ray at the beginning said how he would handle Zellswag at the event should he arrive, she was upset that he didn't even do nothing. Like, he was the one that threw the drink. He was the one that kind of could have kept his cool. And so she was like, look, both of y'all got to go because I'm over both of y'all. Oh, God. So apparently they're going to try to talk again next week. And y'all know, why can't we just... It seems like whenever we be on screen, it's always catty. It's always messy. It's always like stereotypically or overtly feminine. It's just like... That's not all who we are, but irregardless of the mess. That was Love and Hip Hop, y'all. I don't believe I missed anything. If y'all have any comments, leave them down below. We'll be chatting it up on what your favorite part was, what you think about the things we discussed. Make sure you like and share this video. I greatly appreciate it. Oh, and I need to start mentioning, put the little, the little bell thing wherever the subscribe button is so you can get notifications, because apparently the subscription box can't be trusted. So make sure you guys click that bell. Thank you guys so much for all your support during this time of whatever. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.